What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another video. I received Wave 2 of the Walmart exclusive Carbonized Vintage Collection figures, all of them with the Mandalorian card backs, and you can see those here. This was a really nice cash grab by Hasbro. For the most part, I found these to be pretty underwhelming, with the exception of the one that I think everyone was interested in, which was the Shoretrooper, which is basically the Scarif Trooper on a Mandalorian card back instead of a Rogue One card back. But I did go ahead and pick them all up, and I want to say thanks to all my Patreon supporters. I appreciate the channel support. I got all of these from Bounty Hunters Guild. You guys know him well by now. He's an eBay seller. I'll put a link to his eBay sales page in the description for this video, but Josh over there at Bounty Hunters Guild does a great job, and he gave me a very, very great deal on all four of these. I figured I might as well go ahead and pick up all four because the price was so good. Josh packed them very, very safely, double boxed them, shipped them, and they were here in 2 days. So I want to say thanks to Bounty Hunters Guild for the awesome items. Now, I actually have all four of the original issue TVC releases graded. I've got all four of these graded. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull them out of the star cases and compare them to the graded examples of the original issue TVC, so you guys can see the paint app differences and the differences in the card back and things like that. But for the most part, it's a pretty underwhelming kind of cash grab, and you know, I probably didn't need them, but I figured if I'm getting the Shoretrooper, I might as well get them all. The price really wasn't that expensive for all four of these. So let's dig right into these one by one. So here's the first one of the Walmart exclusive carbonized figures. This is the Armorer. You can note the slight differences to the name pill. It's just got kind of a darker sheen there, and it looks like the text is actually a little bit larger. The figure itself is really not that much different. I mean, you know, basically just brighter and more metallic. You got a little bit brighter chest piece and helmet. The weapons themselves appear to also be slightly lighter paint applications. The gloves and the boots have like a more metallic look to the brown. And then the grays on the legs and arms are also a little bit more metallic. So basically the same except shinier. Okay, so it's pretty unexciting. But I figured if I'm getting one of them, I might as well get all four of them from Bounty Hunters Guild. But one of the more epic card backs in the line, and these have that same kind of thick card back that hopefully Hasbro will start using for all of their TVC releases. You can see the manufacturing date stamp there. And then all four of these are shown on the back with multiple languages. Otherwise, a pretty plain card. I'm not going to show the back of the card for all of these, but you know, of the four, I would say that the Armorer and Moff Gideon are the least exciting. Here's my original issue VC 179, and I don't know if I've ever shown this outside of the poly bag yet, but you can take a look at that. It's all straight 95s. This was a Big Bad Toy Store collector grade item, but a pretty awesome card back. But that's really the major differences between the original issue and this figure. It's just brighter and shinier. Otherwise, it's fairly standard. Next up is Moff Gideon. Again, another one that's fairly unexciting from the repaint. You can see some slight differences with, especially on the chest and kind of waist area. It's a little bit brighter scheme than the original issue, which is much darker and kind of black. Here's the original issue VC 180. This is again a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. I know I haven't shown this one outside the poly bag, but straight 95s again for this one. So you can see how dark that black is on Moff Gideon there with the dark saber. And it's already been covered by everyone else, but you know, that card back is so dark. It's just so dark. I wish they had used a little bit brighter, sharper image. But anyway, here is the new edition, and again, you can kind of see how much brighter the paint applications are. I don't think there's really any paint difference to the face or head, but it's really noticeable around the chest. You know, the legs have kind of a brighter black, instead of metallic black, but overall pretty much exactly the same. And you know, one thing that I can't remember if I mentioned during the Armorer, but you know, it seems like the stamping process for Wave 2 is a little bit deeper, I guess, than Wave 1. It's got, you know, some kind of indentations on the card from where the thicker cardstock has been wrapped around to make it thicker. So these were certainly prevalent on the original Wave 1 of the Carbonized, but it just seems like they're much more pronounced and noticeable on these, on the Wave 2 figures. But otherwise, pretty standard fare. I'm not very excited about either this one or their armor, but I figured why not? Why not get them both? Now things start to heat up a little bit with these figures. And in this case, literally, since we have the Incinerator Trooper, I am the king of really bad jokes. But I really wanted this one, actually. This is, of the three we looked at so far now, this is easily probably the highlight. And I think part of the reason I really wanted the Carbonized Incinerator Trooper is because the original VC-177 was also a Walmart exclusive. So I don't want to sound like, you guys have seen my other videos. I don't want to make it sound like I don't like store exclusives. I like store exclusives. I really do. I just don't like how they arrive at my doorstep. So thank goodness for Bounty Hunters Guild. But, the original issue was one I absolutely fell in love with when it first was released, because the card back is just so cool. It's kind of an artistic, drawing or some kind of artist rendering that I think really works. And, I love the flames. I just love the eye pop of the red on the uniform. And so I really did dig this figure from the very beginning. I think also is because the accessory was so cool. They didn't have to go with that flame, add-on for the flamethrower. And I just think that going that extra touch really set this one apart when it was originally released. But anyway, this is my Walmart exclusive VC-177 Incinerator Trooper. It got straight 90s. I think I picked this one up on eBay. I cannot remember. But I remember when I bought it, I paid about twice retail price. So, that probably means I got it on eBay. But anyway, here's the new one. And I actually think that the paint scheme on this Carbonized version is actually better than the original release. It's got kind of a pearlescent look to the white on the Stormtrooper armor that really, in my mind, sets it apart. It's really cool. The other thing I'll note is that the flame is actually a different color, unless my mind is playing tricks on me. This is kind of a brighter red. They added like a metallic effect to the red flames for that accessory versus kind of a more of an orange matted look for the original. So that's something that I was surprised by. Also, there are like kind of a sheen, gunmetal sheen to the accessory that is not on the original. It's much more shiny and kind of metallic looking, but the highlight is probably the pearlescent look to the armor, and then the kind of metallic look to that shoulder pauldron. So I just think this one really pops relative to the original version. The red on the armor especially just makes it really pop. So you'll also notice that the name pill has some differences with the color as well. I feel like having the white font for the Incinerator Trooper wording makes it pop much more than the original issue. So anyway, maybe it's just my imagination, or maybe I'm just making excuses for as to why I wanted it, but I really do think that this one was a nice addition to the Carbonized line. Last but certainly not least is the Shoretrooper, and this is clearly the highlight of this wave of Carbonized figures, because it comes on an alternate card back, which we'll detail and zoom in on in a second here. But obviously this is a repaint of the original issue Scarif Stormtrooper on the Rogue One card back, which in and of itself, that card back is pretty incredible, and one I, fairly early on in my decision to start picking up TVC, I really like this one and just how it looks. So I think I got this one from Dorkside Toys as a collector grade type of item, and it was not that expensive. But the weathering and things like that, while really nice on this one, they take it to the next level with the Carbonized figure. But really quickly, this is again the Rogue One Scarif Stormtrooper. The card and the blister got a 90. And then the figure got a 95 score for an overall 90. So VC 133. So really nice card back. But, I think I might like this one a little bit better in terms of the card back. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. I don't know. I think that other card back is pretty epic. I think I take it back. I think this is a better card back. But it is kind of nice to have a Mandalorian logoed, alternate card back for this figure. It is such a great figure, and having that kind of alternate alternate photo, so to speak, from the season 2 episode. Really makes it pop. So here is the figure itself, and man, what an awesome job they did with the paint scheme on this. I mean, this one is just amazing looking. I love how they did this one. They really took their time with it, and I'm glad that they went with the alternate card back here. And I mean, you know, they could have copied and pasted just that image and put them on the Mandalorian card back, but they took the time and actually used a scene from season 2. So, but the paint scheme on this carbonized Shoretrooper just really pops. So get a nice look at that one. So, but anyway, I thought that, you know, since I knew I wanted to get this one, and I knew I wanted to get the Incinerator Trooper, so why not get all 4 of them, so you guys would have a nice thorough look at the Carbonized Wave 2. The Carbonized figures are not for everyone. I freely admit that when Wave 1 came out, you know, whatever it was last year, that I thought, you know, I would never pick them up. But, you know, in the end, I'm kind of glad I did, because it's a nice little offshoot for some of these others that were already in my collection. And this one is clearly the highlight. I mean, if you don't get any of them, if you only get one, definitely get the Shoretrooper, because it's got that alternate card back, and they just did a fantastic job with the paint applications on that one. That's all I really had for this video. If you liked it and you're new to the channel, welcome. Please consider subscribing. It helps out the channel a lot. And to all my existing subscribers, thank you again for watching, and I'll be back soon.